Well, we've all heard the complaints about television news. It's superficial, it's sensationalist, it's trivial. The ratio of facts, of fluff to facts is way too high. There's not enough of it, or in some cases, there's too much of it. And it's fair to say that local news programs are not exempt from this kind of criticism. But it isn't all action this and eyewitness that. They're not all Ron Burgundy. Here's some breaking news. There are television reporters out there who are serious and dedicated and who insist on doing serious and important investigative journalism. And Brendan Keefe is one of those reporters, and he's one of the best. Mr. Keefe is currently the chief investigative reporter for WXIA-TV, Channel 11 in Atlanta, Georgia. In his 25-year career, he's reported from all over the United States and abroad, and has done so for many, many stations. Some of you may recognize him from the 5 years he spent here in New York a decade ago working for WCBS-TV, Channel 2. Mr. Keefe has covered everything from wars and terror attacks to natural disasters and space flights. But a common thread in much of his work has been to expose governmental neglect and malfeasance as it harms ordinary citizens. A sterling example is the series we honor tonight, an expose of the appalling flaws and failures in the emergency response system we're supposed to get when you dial 911. Mr. Keefe identified a problem that most people didn't know existed and that officialdom had neglected. A problem that is literally a matter of life and death, a problem that represented a political failure as well as a technological one. He brought energy and imagination and a sense of drama to the task. He made the human realities vivid and the technical aspects comprehensible, and he persisted. He stuck with the story for 2 years, and because he did that, he got results. One more thing, he did it all himself. He doesn't have a staff of assistants and technicians and gophers. He didn't just narrate these stories, and he didn't just write them. He was also the director, the cameraman, the video editor, the audio editor, the driver, you name it. Let's watch a brief clip.
One more time, it's not working.
The 11 Alive investigators discovered cell phone callers are lost on the line by 911 every day.
They received a call from a female that said that she was in the lake and losing air.
A year ago, Chanel Anderson was trapped in her sinking SUV in Cherokee County, but her 911 call got picked up by the wrong call center in Fulton County.
Yeah, we got one vehicle. It looks like it's all the way underwater right now.
They found her too late to save her life.
Your own commission said 911 is broken in Georgia. What are you going to do to fix it?
Well, you know, 911 systems are run by local jurisdictions.
A year ago, we asked the governor about this 911 modernization report he commissioned, a report completed while Chanel Anderson and George Treadaway were both still alive.
Your commission recommended that there be a state agency that oversees 911. Are you in favor of that?
Well, I haven't made a decision on that.
We asked the governor and his staff the same questions about his 911 commission report again and again, 9 separate times via email and in person over 12 months. After a year of no answers and another death, the investigators caught up with Governor Deal at a transportation news conference.
Why appoint a commission to create a 99-page report and offer 8 different recommendations if you're not going to do anything
about that? You should come to some other venue rather than this one today.
How many more of your constituents have to die before you take 911 modernization seriously?
I don't mind answering some of y'all.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I'm in a car in a lake.
Where?
I'm losing air very quickly.
Give me the address one more time, it's not working.
Chanel Anderson was lost on the line. Her 911 call was routed to the wrong call center, and her phone never told dispatchers where to find her sinking car.
Ma'am, I lost her.
2 years ago, a woman drove into the Cherokee County pond and made a desperate 911 call while trapped in her sinking car. Now, she did not die in vain.
11 Alive Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe is now concluding his 2-year investigation with the solutions that fatal call inspired. They're solutions that could save tens of thousands of lives every year.
Laser, the life-saving invention we successfully tested in the field, will be pre-installed in every phone produced by one of the biggest handset manufacturers in a matter of months. You'll simply call 911 and seamlessly the invention will get you to the right 911 center, plus the dispatcher will know immediately where to send help.
This is about saving lives.
For the 11 Alive investigators, I'm Brendan Keefe.
I'm truly humbled, which for a TV reporter is saying a lot. We don't get humbled very often. I want you to do me a favor right now, if you can. Get out your cell phone, if you don't have it already. Most of us carry it in our hand like an extra appendage. Just get out your cell phone and hold it in your hand, please. Do you feel its power in your hand? Your whole life is on this device now. It's a supercomputer that can instantly access the whole of human knowledge, instantaneously. But your phone is also a lifeline. Dial those 3 numbers, 911, and help should be on the way. The 911 operator will answer with a single question. Not what is your emergency, but where is your emergency? Where are you? Now you, the victims, are responsible for knowing your precise location when your life literally depends on it, on probably the worst day of your life. Now tonight you've probably posted to social media already, and your phone asked to check you in here at the Times Center at 41st Street and 8th Avenue. But if you call 911 right now from that device in your hand, your smartphone plays dumb because it connects to a system designed in the last millennium, the 1990s. Your call might hit a cell tower across the river in New Jersey and get Hoboken 911. Dispatchers may only see the tower address, and the 911 center's maps may not extend beyond the Hudson River. All 3 of those fatal flaws combined the night Chanel Anderson picked up her phone and called 911 while trapped inside her sinking SUV as it sank to the bottom of a Georgia pond. The water filling Chanel's SUV literally drowned out her voice as she repeated over and over where she was dying. Every Atlanta TV station and newspaper covered this as a singular tragedy. General assignment reporters, after all, are responsible for who, what, where, when, if time permits, sometimes how. Investigative reporters try to answer the question, why? Why couldn't 911 find Chanel in time to save her life? The journey to answer that question would take 14 major investigative reports over 24 months. We found a stunning level of complacency at the State House, and by the way, while President Trump is firing the FBI director tonight, the governor of Georgia vetoed the bill that would have created that independent 911 agency that would have overseen it and funded it because, oh, it's not a state issue. So even after all this reporting, it's frustrating, isn't it? But we keep doing it, don't we? But we found that stunning complacency at the State House, the FCC, the cell phone companies, and the local 911 centers, who all acted like the smartphone hadn't been invented yet. They really acted like, well, no, this is the way the system works. The smartphone hasn't been invented yet. And yet they would almost like walk into their 911 centers and walk back into the 20th century. So we took the story national. It was on Today, Nightly News, all 46 Tegna television stations, several Gannett newspapers, and the front page of USA Today. That top-of-the-fold article I wrote with USA Today's John Kelly was seen by 2 inventors who thought they had the solution. They could fix the problem. They created an elegant solution called Laser. It uses all the phone sensors to send 911 to your precise location, update it continually if you're moving, even if you're on a subway, and route your call to the right 911 center based on your actual address, not the tower location. And sadly, the inventors can't be with us here tonight because they're actually still fighting to make sure this gets on your phone. They're here in the city tonight, working with a major technology company to make this happen for everyone. They want universal access. Their invention has been awarded multiple US patents and is now pre-installed in the newest model of one of the two biggest phone manufacturers. And phone companies, as I mentioned, are in talks to bring this technology from coast to coast. This, folks, it's not my power. It's the power of journalism, of real news, the power of truth. Long-form, independent, investigative journalism is not dead. It is alive and well, and it's actually on your television in cities like Atlanta, Indianapolis, Denver, and Seattle, where local reporters are holding the powerful accountable each and every day. Local TV news is the modern agora, a place where people from disparate ideological and political strata can come together to make our communities better and safer places to live. It's also sometimes so infuriating, I want to throw a brick at the television. Do we choose a side in investigative television journalism? I often get that from some of my colleagues when I'm at the Investigative Reporters and Editors Conference. You guys pick a side. Absolutely we pick a side. We pick the side of the voiceless, right? In the spirit of Hillman, we believe in social justice, amplifying those smaller voices to speak truth to power. City Hall doesn't need the megaphone. They already have it. We elevate the powerless to be on equal footing with the powerful. An unknown problem existed for 2 decades before a one-man band from a local TV station in Atlanta simply asked why. And my employers gave me the time to fully answer that question. How many lives will that decision save? There are some people, if you'll give me one more moment here tonight, they've saved my life many times over. My sisters Kathleen and Susan are here tonight, and I asked them to be here tonight because without my family, I wouldn't have been there as a reporter to ask these important questions. So I want to dedicate this Hillman Prize tonight to our parents, Ann and Dan Keefe. Tonight would have been their 64th wedding anniversary. And they had 9 kids. I'm glad they had 9 because I was the 9th. If they stopped at 8, this wouldn't have happened. And oddly, they had the 9th child 4 years after the 8th, so I'm pretty sure I was the product of a night of passion and not a planned pregnancy. So you come here and you learn new things about people you already know. But Anne deeply valued journalism as a check against a government abuse, believing the Fourth Estate would preserve democracy. I only wish my mother could be here tonight to see me standing under the masthead of the New York Times and in the company of her heroes from the Washington Post. She never paid attention to me. She read your work. So I really wish she was here tonight. Dan Keefe raised his 9 kids to believe hard work serves as its own reward. He encouraged us all to compete against ourselves, to try to beat our own personal best. I don't care if you become a garbage man, Dad said. Be the best damned garbage man in the history of the sanitation industry. And join the SEIU, by the way. Good parenting is contagious like good journalism is contagious, and my fellow honorees here tonight are all carriers of this disease, of good journalism, and the spread of storytelling and journalistic excellence cannot be stopped. So thank you to the Sidney Hillman Foundation for this honor tonight.